I was the first route. I slowly ripped it off I moved to a high leadership position to a sales rep, and
Yeah.
just 3 days a week working as a sales rep, earning great money doing that because I did it years before and I knew I was successful at it, and I did it again while building Be Better. So it gave me those 4 days of the week to focus on the business.
Yeah.
And some people are like, well, I can only go down to 5 days, or I can't do that. Well, the point is, like, that time that you're not working inside of the company, use that time to, and by the way, this isn't just if you want to build your own business, this is to do things for yourself. Like, if you want to take that trip to Mount Kilimanjaro, if you want to go enjoy that experience in a different country, like, maximize the time in which you are not spending on your full-time job. Like, a lot of people I know personally, and this was me at some point, I used to get home from my job and literally just watch Netflix, or literally just play like Skyrim or play games. And we talked about gaming on your show, but I
Yes.
used to just waste that time away. And there's a saying that if you're enjoying what you're doing, then it's not really wasted time. Well, I guess it's all relative to what else could you be doing with that time in order
Mhm.
to further your own life, unless what you are doing is bringing you fulfillment. But I just know from experience that that just wasn't the case for me until I found an outlet to place that time into that does fulfill me, like having these conversations
Yeah.
with you and other people, and helping people. I found that to be my purpose. But for those listening, ask yourself, what is it that brings you the most joy, and how can you spend those hours doing that specific thing? Like, for you, what brings you the most joy and fulfillment in your life, Sam?
So I've been taking a lot of time on this, a lot of time, because same as you, wasted a lot of time, arguably playing video games or watching movies, whatever it may be. And I've been actively trying to find ways for me where I can enjoy things that make me healthy, going to the gym, spend out time outside, things that make me money. So what I'm working on, and then also things that are going to help me in developing relationships too. And if you don't have something that you enjoy that's working for you in all of those three different areas, that's okay. It's just trial and error until you do. So that's something really important. But for me now, knowing that we'll talk about the pillars that I work upon, this is where I've started to segment my life. Ultimately, was that I had these passions so scattered, and I've had times when I've lent into coaching, I've had times when I've lent into traveling, times when I've lent into competing in fitness, whatever that may be, times when I've solely developed the business. And I enjoyed all these different things, but I've only ever focused on one at a time, and it got split up. And this is then now where I finally got that clarity of actually being intentional about segmenting these different things. And that's allowed me to start to enjoy every aspect now of my business and the brand that I'm building and the people that I serve, because I've gained that clarity of these pillars and what it is that I'm leaning into now.
How did you do that? So, moving from the idea of focusing on one of those areas at a time. So, first of all, before we even talk about like how you were able to segment each thing, what are the four pillars? What are the
Yeah,
four main pillars?
yeah, for sure. So it was an ugly journey. It's taken a lot of time. There's no secret there. But the four pillars that I'm currently focusing on, and I also know that there will be more in the future. I already have these lined up, but the four focuses for me right now are the main journey, which is the podcast that I host. And this for me is ultimately an excuse to connect with cool new people. It's a way for me to network. It's for me to develop those relationships. And of course, you've got the benefits that having your own podcast has for business and personal branding and content. It was an excuse to create content in a fun way.
Mm.
And I wanted to explore that. So that's the main journey. I then have the main business. So this for me is the pillar where I can actually now start to look at what it is I'm specifically doing in business. And these are split for me as consulting and coaching. I have some clients that I'm coaching, I'm educating them on their business and how to scale. And then I also have a couple of companies that I consult for managing some of their teams and helping them out. So that enabled me to start to set targets specifically for those things. Then I've got the main adventure. This for me is the fun.
Mm.
This is, the adventures, the fitness challenges I do, the travels that I do. I eventually want to be doing some van life stuff. I've been super fortunate to share a lot of my journey, even just, what I've done over the last 10 years. And I want to continue doing that. So the main adventure is just these little things that I'm fortunate enough to be able to go and do. And then the final one is the main project. And this is something I initially set up around maybe a year to maybe even 2 years ago. And this is my way of giving back to those people that are in need. So primarily men 18 to 35. Obviously, the suicide rate for this age group is absolutely through the roof.
Hmm.
I've been very fortunate to have a lot of coaching through the fitness coaching experience that I've had, and met a lot of people over the years. And I knew that I wanted to develop a program that would help people, not just in their mental health, but actual just performance. And the main project is my way of doing that.